So you guys take off charter flight, I assume, this afternoon, right?
Yeah, we're headed out this afternoon. Kind of when you go 2 time zones and about a 4-hour flight, it just seems right to get there, get settled in, have a good clean day tomorrow with walkthroughs and practice and meetings, and then get ready to play Saturday.
Business trip, of course, but 2 nights there now. Any sort of team event, a film, or anything like that?
We're going to the movies tomorrow afternoon, actually, just to chew up a little of the time and just to keep them to where we know where they are and they're not just sitting in their rooms. We got a good group of kids. I'm not worried about them doing something crazy, but I do want to make sure I know where they are.
In the past, you've gone to suits on the road and some other tweaks and some other Are you just trying for normalcy this year? Is there anything in particular you're trying to do?
That's a great question. I think for us, we're trying to find consistency, and it doesn't matter. We've been talking about, it doesn't matter where we play or the weather or the conditions or the field or what uniforms or any of that. And to do that, I think that has to apply to the way we travel. So when we're at home, we wear our sweats with our collared shirts and the whole thing, and we'll do that on the road. So we're trying to find consistency, and I think we're getting really close to it.
And with all this stuff in the news the past few days at Oklahoma State and other places, do you bring that up to the team and say this is what we certainly don't want to happen anywhere and pay attention? Other people have made mistakes, or you just let that be and let them figure it out?
No, I think we have to try to educate our guys, and it's great to learn from others, unfortunately for them, but fortunately for us. It's always good to learn from others, and whether it's internal or external. And so we just try to educate our guys the best we can. I sympathize with those programs and the stuff they're going through and the potential distractions it could cause for them, but man, there's so many temptations out there for these guys. I think that's the biggest thing to try to educate them on. There's so many temptations that they can just focus on playing good football, going to school, enjoying this experience, and then they'll be okay.
We saw Eric Kohler out of his walking boot this week. How's he coming along?
He's progressing. Obviously it hasn't been ideal at all that he missed training camp and all those things, but we'll be fortunate whenever he does get back to full strength. We'll be fortunate to have him.
I think Cazzetto said starting offensive line played the majority of snaps against Boise. Has it been an emphasis at all, or is it even a concern to maybe get 1 or 2 more guys ready and up to speed, I guess?
I'd like to get some experience for those guys. Our tempo was good last game. We ran 86 plays, and so for them to make it through, I think they ran 83 of the 86. That was encouraging, that the condition that they were in, but we have to prepare ourselves for things that might come about and contingency plan and things of that nature. So hopefully we can get a couple of those guys a little bit more reps this week.
How did those guys grade out overall offensive line?
They played really well. I thought Colin Tanagawa was a nice addition to have back. Just his presence, his mentality, the way he plays the game. I thought Micah Hatchie had a nice game at left tackle. And I thought Mike Christ, playing center first time, really managed the game really well for us.
How much more of the playbook will we see on Saturday?
Oh. We'll see. For me, a lot of it depends on what they're going to do, and so I can't answer it fully. It depending on what they do, that forces our hand into some of the types of plays we like to run and formations and different things. So, we'll try to gather as much information as we can early in the ball game to see where we're headed.
Obviously, walk through tomorrow, I assume.
Yep. We'll walk through tomorrow in Chicago.
How, Steve, have you traveling the team, has it changed from the first year to now? The details of the things you've learned?
I don't think the overall, kind of timing and everything hasn't changed a whole lot, quite honestly. I think the messaging has. I think that understanding that the consistency factor, whether we're playing at home or away, and the way we approach the ball game should not change, and I think that our guys are understanding that. The same energy, enthusiasm, focus, attention to detail that takes place at home is the same thing we have to bottle up and take on the road with us. And I like this group. I think they understand it. I'm laughing because they're so loose, they're so confident, but yet they're so focused, and they're a really fun group to coach because they get it, and I don't feel like we have to pound it into them. They understand it, they get it, and they're fun to coach.
So you're not hanging a Dick Buckus jersey in the locker room?
No.
No Tigers or Bears?
I might do a sweetness jump into the end zone or something when we get there. But.
But I'm joking, but did you learn something from when you brought the Tiger in from before LSU last week? And I think you kind of alluded to it after the game where, hey, we're not going to care about where the game is anymore, and we're not going to make a big deal of it.
You know, I'm always trying to apply things to not externally motivate our guys, but the Tiger at LSU is a big deal, you know, and you come out of that locker room, that thing's a big old sucker, and he's a big deal, man. I didn't want our guys shivering when they came out of the locker room. So, you know, I don't know. It's a good story for people to write about and talk about, I guess.
Did you notice Boise defending the offense differently with Austin not in there? Did normally defenses defend you?
I really didn't, quite honestly. I really didn't. You know, it'll be, you know, he's a tight end. He's a good target. He can do a lot of different things. I think that's what makes him unique. I think he draws attention, which should help the other guys as long as the quarterback continues to distribute the ball the way he has. And he'll make plays, you know, and so we're glad to have him back. But I didn't notice they defend us any differently. I think they just were aware that it wasn't number 88 out there running around.
And did you find that you now have the bonus of a clearly capable backup in Perkins catching a touchdown in his first game?
Without a doubt. I think Josh has a great deal of confidence. I think we have confidence in him. I think Keith has confidence in him. And I think just in general, our offense, you know, you can lose one of your best players and you can still go out and play really well. And so it's not about one guy. It's not about me or Keith or Austin or Kaysen or Bishop or anybody else. We've got a good offensive football team that has depth and has quality personnel that if one guy goes down, another guy's going to come in and has the belief in himself that he's going to make his plays. And I think that was evident of Josh last week, of him making that play in the red zone in a pretty critical moment of the game.
All right.